it as well. And also, his lawyer was rubbish anyway. He had a rubbish lawyer who was saying that how he's got a Netflix thing going on. We know he's on Spotify. We know he's on all different platforms because that's the source of income. Um, there was also witnesses there. Hold on, let me show a little bit of thing that I've got. Hopefully, it'll play. They had some witnesses there that said that character witnesses, and most of the character witnesses, I'll say they lied. There was a lot of lies being told, a lot of lies. I think did. The white guy called Ryan White said that how he changed him and his wife's life and all this. And there was a lady who was kind of ratchet, like she was kind of had the attitude, I would say, towards the lawyer. So it's like she had a big time attitude. So when they were asking her certain questions and stuff like that, she was kind of like on a defense, I would say, very defensive, which still doesn't look good on his half anyway. And like I said, there's a whole heap of lies being told, a whole heap of lies. Let me see if the male one's gonna play.
The state or the county itself on its website, but people were actually thinking or claiming that
It's this area, I swear. But my one has some
this would
lawyer.
be a bond reduction
Okay.
hearing, as if he had gotten some exorbitant bond that they're trying to reduce, but no bond has been offered. The one thing that I got out of this bond that should be important to everyone watching once you consider the process, right? You're arrested, you're allowed.
Sorry, the reason why it's silent in and out is the signal. Okay, apologies if you're hearing it going in and out because of the signal. The signal is really atrocious. The 5G is messing up everything.
You're supposed to get a bond after 90 days. April 14th is when Nature Boy was arrested. He hasn't gotten bond yet. The initial hearing for bond was around May something, May 6th or something like that, a week before we thought Velvet would have her hearing in Ohio against Nature Boy for domestic violence. That hearing didn't happen. But in the last bail hearing is where you saw the only representative to speak up for Nature Boy. Uh, True, the guy that looks just like Serenity, except he's got more facial hair and he's got more tattoos on his chest then he has chest on his chest. But that's neither here nor there. They weren't really even trying to hear from him. What was presented on Nature Boy's side back then were pretty much handwritten notes or typed that had no authority on it, right? No sort of representation that you were speaking the truth. No notarized letters, in other words. In this hearing, with a different attorney, right? Again, a lot of times these defendants, they switch up attorneys just to buy more time. They switch up attorneys just to buy more time. Nothing has changed except for the number of people who claim melanation. More people have left. More people have exposed Nature Boy. And those people just made it more difficult for Nature Boy to get out. Okay, everyone who recently left, Musa, Loyal, what's his name, Solar, all these people, right? They made it very difficult for this judge to even think about it, right? So we need to understand that the state, in this case, in this bond hearing, and you notice the judge asked her, right? Because she asked this sister judge, ask the prosecutor, when was the date of the last hearing? Okay, May something. Okay, do. It's here we are, July 7th. Okay. And then the judge asked the prosecutor the question that I needed to know, which is this case being presented to a grand jury? And the state or the prosecutor said, yes, it has been presented. It's in line to be presented to the grand jury, which means there might be an indictment that comes down pretty soon. Now, please again understand, 90 days you're supposed to get a bond. The state can delay and ask for denial of bond for another 90 days. So he's still within that legal, he's not being wrongfully detained at all in Georgia. But I just want to note that this bond hearing had no carbonation members speaking up for Nature Boy. None of them. So the only thing the state had to do in asking these witnesses questions was just to ask them, how long have you known Nature Boy? Have you ever been around him? Did you live in this Georgia address? No, you didn't? Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Because all of them, none of them were members of his cult ever. The people that were there present with their face, swearing, right hand held up high to speak up for Nature Boy, weren't even any Nature Boy members. Now that's interesting too. But I just want to let you all know with this video is that you should expect some word about an indictment of Nature Boy coming soon, since you will probably never hear anything about a bond. The indictment should come through and should come down, should be presented to the grand jury within the next month or two. And then you'll get notice of that. So as far as anticipating the next move, the next thing you should be looking for is a grand jury indictment that pretty much presents it to everyday jury members. Nature Boy's not really going to be there. Nature Boy doesn't have to be there. They say you can indict a ham sandwich. It should be straightforward and easy, but we will get an official indictment of Nature Boy, which is another thing that you should get within a reasonable time after arrest. An indictment, a presentation that you are here and you are either going to go to trial or you're going to plead guilty to these charges. There's no date set for the indictment or the grand jury hearing yet, but that's what I got out of Nature Boy's bond hearing, is that yes, it is set for the grand jury. We don't know where he is in the line, when that will come down, but we do know he's been denied bond again, no matter what his attorney had to say. And for those reasons, I just wanted to leave this video here just to give you all an update from my perspective. Horrible character witnesses, horrible individuals, but I guess it's better than nothing. I don't know. I don't know. Mayat Singleton was one of them. A guy named Ryan Wilson was another one who said he saw the videos where women were told to smack each other, and that doesn't change his opinion. He's a good guy. The second woman was Audriana Johnson. I may have seen her online acting crazy, talking about debate me, debate me. Nature Boy's the man. She's all about his teaching, all about his knowledge, and all of that. And they asked her, do you have any knowledge of what happened that night? Were you there? And then this young lady said, oh, well, yeah, I do have knowledge about what happened that night. The knowledge that I have about what happened that night is when the victim herself went live the next day. And, excuse me, ma'am, they just interrupted her ass because they needed to know what she knew based on her own eyes and ears, which was zilch, zero, nada. So that's one thing to take note of. Not even True was there. Not even, any of these other weirdos. No women were there. Women who are said to have been contacting Neytiri as recent as 4 or 5 days ago to get her to chill. These women committing crimes on the side. More evidence that Nature Boy still has control over these people and that these people might do anything. So all of these people, the women trying to call Neytiri, the dudes leaving the camp, exposing Nature Boy, all of them played a role today, and just reminding the judge that, you know what, interesting testimony, people, but, based on the Ayala factors, this dude should not be given bail. He's a danger to the community, no matter what these witnesses who don't really know him but kind of know him said. He's a danger to the community. He's likely to commit another felony, and he might even go after people and try to influence witnesses to his own case. So bail denied. Again, shout out to all y'all out there reporting on it, but good luck with that. This is your boy Marwan. Thank you for checking out this video, and remember, my point with this video is right here in the title, that he is up for the grand jury soon. So the process is still moving forward. He's still where he...
You're stressed out?